Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long was 1975. A YouTuber on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long Boys Bros 1975.
This is Cisco Heat on the Amiga, albeit on my Kinhank Super Console X, because this is another game that won't work on my A500 Mini. This is also by ImageWorks, and I believe it was released on the Spectrum, the Amstrad, the Commodore, the Amiga, and the Atari ST in 1991. I raised my voice because it's a question, because I'm really not sure. Obviously, this is an arcade port of a game that was released in the arcades by Jaleco, that was released in 1990. It was really popular in Japan for some reason, where it's a super scaler, well no, that's Sega, isn't it? It's a sprite scaler, I should say, a sprite scaler racing game where you are literally the old Bill racing against an opponent car who is also the old Bill, and you have a choice of like a traditional police cruiser of the 80s, or like a sports car that's been turned into a police cruiser. Doesn't look too bad there, does it, actually, to be fair, until it does that. Undulation has killed many a good scrolling racing game. In the arcades, it was phenomenal, looked absolutely fantastic, and it definitely stood out from the crowd because of two things. One, you were the Rozzers, and two, it had these absolutely insane right angle turns, which I'd be very impressed to see if this can do them any justice whatsoever, because I generally don't know. This is, I'm going to say this is another game that would appear to look really rather quite good on the back of the box or in stills in magazines, but as you can see it move, frame rate goes to tits. Anyway, never played any other version of this because even on the Spectrum I can't get it to work, or the Commodore. To be fair, I haven't tried the Amstrad, but I do have a gameplay of it in MAME, so look that up, or just look up anyone's gameplay of it in MAME to see how truly impressive it was in the arcades. And the music in this, whether or not it's an accurate representation of the arcade, listen, is absolutely fantastic. I've said it before and I'll say it again. ImageWorks is basically the Mirror newspaper group, because, you know, why not break into games? They did do some cool stuff. They did Dynamite Dan. Right, fire. Did that do anything? Yes, apparently. Right, so we can be that car, traditional, or we can be in the sports car. I'm going to go with traditional. Speed, top right, position in the middle at the top of the screen, and to the left is time. And obviously it's called Cisco Heat because, think about it, see the bridge? You know, Cisco? San Francisco. Genius. Stupid really, but fuck it. Right, fire. And underneath where it says third, I have a gear. I had to try this really quickly. Proceed to Fisherman's Wharf. Hey, everyone's just bullied me. Right, see? If I press fire, I use my horn. I change gear by pressing space. So why is fire my horn? I mean, obviously it may have had a horn, not the horn, in the arcades. But the point is, why are you using your horn when your twos and blues are on? Safe to say everyone knows you're coming. And also, what a, you know, use of taxpayers' money to have the old Bill decide that they're going to host a race. Change down? No, got on keyboard. Right. Because look how many, you know, Rozzers are on the road. This is terrible. It looked great, like I said, when it's stationary, but the minute you start moving, it does my horn does nothing anyway, so fuck it. Why is it even a thing? The controls are crap. Oh, left, that's the right angle turn, which this doesn't really seem to handle. Although, I am still third. Ooh, slow down. See, the thing is, right, it doesn't look terrible per se. It's just, when you realise all the other, like, you know, top tier driving games that are on the Amiga, that rendered even releasing something like this, even if you're porting it from the arcade, kind of pointless. Because obviously the latest game set such a standard that unless you're an absolutely massive diehard fan of turn left. You have no control over that though, yeah, of the arcade. You're not buying this because you just say, well, maybe you wouldn't even if you love the arcade because you just say, well, I don't care about the license because trams are cool. Amiga version of trying to concentrate and talk at the same time, not my bag. Fucking tram, yes. Obviously, like I said, Lotus and shit. There's a. Okay, are you gonna put me all the way back when you say continue? Right, and it won't let me change the car. And why was that Officer Dibble from Top Cat? Down. And they all fucking rape you from behind. Don't like that. But that's alright, I'll deploy my horn. See how this cuts a swerve through all these bastards. See, when you got this much stuff on the screen with a frame rate this poor and the controls are this shit, then it's ultimately rendered unplayable. But like I said, I've been dying to see this, you know, a home conversion of this because while I never played it in the arcades back in the day, I was aware of stuff like your Sinclair. I just remember, like, in magazines it looking like fucking amazing, and so therefore I played the main version, which is fantastic. Even the trucks are beating the shizen out of me. So anyway, as I always like to say, would you have loved this if you loved it in the arcades? I probably would have been happy, I guess, to have your favourite arcade machine on your machine at home, but problem is, when it looks this bad, plays this bad, like, how am I supposed to go around a right angle corner without pressing and holding left all the time, which therefore just then drives me straight into a building? And just down below. But yeah, I'm sorry, even if you're a massive fan of the arcade, it's like, SCI is awful. But at least there's somewhat of a game in there. This is just shit. Where's my time? Okay, the music's on the smallest loop ever, so that also gets added to the shit list. I couldn't turn, mate. I was in the air. See, look, where do I go? Look how much shit is on the road. And they're not getting out of the way for me. Look. You can't... To be fair, it does feel weird in the arcade when you try and do those bits. Yeah, we'll have one more go. I wish you'd let me change my car. How far do we get this time? Even worse. I guess it's like pure luck as to how many of them bash the shizen out of you. It start the game. And also, do you see that car moving at like Automan fucking levels of cornering? Remembers that show? You haven't got a chance. Oof. I'm gonna be sick. Oh, Mucker flags. That's cool. I didn't even know why I changed then. And there's rocks in the middle of the road. You're supposed to serve the public. Pull over and pick them up, you lazy bastards. You pick them up and they were fucking donuts, wouldn't you? See, in this country, the old Bill don't do it for donuts. They do it for Greggs. I think they might be on the winning side there. Oh, I'm second. How? And then I had to brake because I just simply went off screen. And then I have to turn right. I did it! I'm really not sure how, but I did something then. And not just feel nauseous because of the way the screen scrolls. Look at it! Oh, I'd love to know what reviews it's got back in the day. I can't imagine that they were very good. Or maybe they were, because, you know, people were quite often bought off back then, weren't they? Oh, I'm third now. I'll never get back to the dizzying highs of second. But since I had a decent alternative backup for my A500 Meet, it annoys me that I have to have a backup to play Amiga games properly through emulation when the A500 Mini is supposed to be like the official product that delivers you your childhood. I know. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is now I can play all this stuff. Anyone know any other cool kind of interesting, not necessarily cool, driving games? Turn around. Oh, I should try. Anyway, Cisco, see? Get it? Cisco? Heat on the Amiga. It's crap. It's crap. I'm glad I played it. but it's an awesome arcade machine that you really should check out if you get your hands on MAME. Anyway, it's always a lovely little thing, especially if you played this back in the day. How did you feel? If you were a massive fan of the arcade game? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.